We live. We live. Mad. No. I'm not making cookies. I'm not making cookies. Those days are over. Everybody relax. Those days are over. Cookie Monster City is out of there, man. I've been looking at like a like a diet like a healthy cookie alternative. Not many out there. Not many out there, man. Most would have. Yeah, I'm late. Yeah, I'm late, man. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button, man. This is going to be a long live stream. I know I said that last time, but this time it is going to be a long live stream. And my glasses are foggy. All right. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. I got a yarmulke under my fitted. No, I don't. No, I do not. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Somebody said, nigga, you blind without glasses? Yes, nigga, I'm blind without glasses. Yes, nigga, I'm blind without glasses. Nah, I got astigmatism. See what's going on in here. Is that better? There we go. That's better. That's better. Everybody, what's up with it? We got Pastor said, I told y'all we'll get pulled into World War III. This is actually like part 3 of World War III and chill. But I couldn't find part 2. So this is the new part 2. Yo, shout to Easy. My nigga. What up, Chris? Bryant. Black Savant. He said, Israel not letting me start the stream. Nah, everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Grizzly, what up? Everybody in here. Yeah, most. Yeah, I know I'm late. No Country said 10 deep hat with the bomb in the title is crazy. No, this ain't 10 deep. This is this the hundreds. That's the atom bomb. This from the hundreds. Shout to Carvin. Carvin said not worth it. Mix up your own eggs, a little sugar. Oh, so and some cookies. Well, they got different type of like cookie like alternatives where they use like coconut flour and like I don't know, man. Everybody hit the like button. There's different alternatives going on. Once you start getting into alternatives, they either really good, they're okay, or they just trash. Most of the time they trash. Like low carb, low calorie alternatives, I'm just being honest, should be trash. George said you can search, but there's no replacement for peanut butter, chocolate chip cookies. That's what I was just saying. Nope. Sweet Melody Media. What's up? Seeking in here. What's up? Iota, Xanatos. He said we're seeing how well that Iranian basic bunker is working out. Man, we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna have a conversation. Mo said clean your hat. What's up with my hat? It might be a little dusty. You might be right. Sometimes I don't get back around to a hat like months later. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the hundreds. Lane, what's up? Everybody in here? Okay. Everybody in here. I hope everybody here today. You know. Shout out to Dion. What up, Untitled? He said, hey, that's not a team on your hat. No, it's not a team on my hat. This is the hundreds from LA. Let me see. Cynical. I'm not fucking with cynical. I already hey, I don't want no smoke with cynical. I want zero smoke. I want zero smoke. Shout out to Asia. Who else in here? Everybody in here. Okay. Soul provider. What's up? Wayne in here. Okay, the gang in here. The gang. There we go. There we go. Hey. Hey, Mercy, don't go nowhere. I see Easy here. I don't want, listen, I don't want y'all niggas going nowhere, all right? I remembered everything niggas said. I remember everything niggas said. I remember everything niggas said, all right? And one thing is, Mercy might have been right about some shit. Mercy might have been right, you know? Mercy might have been, you know? Somebody said another, yeah. Everybody relax. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So, where do we begin? Where do we begin? Thinking. Israel, Iran. We had the conflict. We had the conflict with the Houthis. We covered that. All right. We covered the Houthis. We got to talk about a few angles that's not being really talked about with this. And let's get into it. Let's get into it. So we have the situation, right? Where Iran, we're going to go to Iran and make Iran, go through the inspection process with a nuclear program so we can sort of regulate it. You know what I'm saying? So we can sort of regulate it. And then, Iran said, that's a good idea. And we're more than down to do that. But what's up with Israel's nuclear program? All right. Now, for those who don't know, Israel is not supposed to have a nuclear program that's able to produce weapons grade weaponry. Okay. This is what got JFK. This is what got his top popped off because he wanted to inspect, and he found out that the inspectors was lying. He came to Dallas to meet up with, what becomes the ADL later. And the rest was history, He said it's unspoken, but they had their program for decades. Yes, I know they had their program, but their program was just an energy-based program. And so Iran pretty much said, if we have to downgrade our nuclear program or whatever, then Israel should have to reduce their nuclear program. And again, that wasn't reported in the West. Okay, but if you checked all the media overseas, that was what it was. In fact, Iran wasn't budging on that so much that they wouldn't even talk directly to the White House. Like, even when Trump was talking about how they was negotiating or whatever, they'd be like, well, we talked to some people and hopefully they blah, blah, blah. It's like Iran didn't even send like high level officials to like talk about this. They pretty much said, go tell them this what we on. All right. Now, again, during this time, right, the situation with the Houthis, right, because of the treatment of what was happening to the Palestinians, all right, that's why they start clogging up the works. They start clogging up the waterways. And again, people acted crazy about that, but everybody knows why the Houthis was acting up, and they was acting up because of the treatment of the Palestinians. Now, okay, here's where it gets good, because that situation is settled, put away. You know, the Houthis retreated, blah, 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 whatever. That was that. Then something happens. Something happens. And what happens is, after that, Israel did not like the fact that the situation with the Houthis was squandered and that it did not lead to an attack on Iran. All right. Shout to Easy for the 10. Appreciate that. My nigga. So Israel is not really pleased with us figuring out the situation with the Houthis. We're starting to get into more talks with Iran. Iran is still not budging. All right. Iran is still not budging. Okay. Now, here's what we reported on and stuff, right? Because what happens is things start to leak, all right, within the U.S. So you have a situation where Pete Hegseth and Tulsi Gabbard, and I forgot the other guy, but they all come out and said, no, we will not be attacking Iran. Okay. We won't be attacking Iran. Not even 2 days later, we get Signalgate Part 2. Okay. We get Signalgate Part 2. All right. This is where Pete Hegseth's like assistants, whatever, they get fired. Was it Rubio? I can't remember the third person. Y'all gotta forgive me. But they come out and say, no, we're not going to attack Iran. We're not going to attack Iran. I believe it was like 2 days later, if not a week later, we get Signalgate Part 2, where these messages leak. And we got an intel situation. And I remember, they was putting pressure on Trump to fire Hegseth. And this seemed like a direct plan to get rid of all the people who just came out and said we're not attacking Iran. So they realize they have a mole. We'll just call it a mole. All right. We'll just call it a mole. Okay. Now it comes out that Waltz, I can't remember his first name. I just remember Waltz. This guy Waltz was using an Israeli version of the Signal app that they used to send messages and shit, right? The Tim Waltz, I think it's two different Waltz. I get them mixed up. So this guy's pretty much outed. Tim Waltz. Okay, Tim Waltz. This guy's pretty much outed as like a spy, pretty much. And of course, the American media doesn't get the information to where it's like, hey, this guy deliberately tried to sabotage, saying these people to try to like force some type of issue with Iran. Now, Tim Waltz is pretty much kicked to the curb, right? I don't even know why that should have been a big story. That should have been a huge story, man. Like, I can't believe, when I remember covering that when it happened, it was like, how is this guy like a fucking, I'll just say a traitor or a spy or some shit? Okay, Mike Waltz. All right, Mike Waltz. I don't know if I said Tim Waltz. I know I get them mixed up, but how is this not like big news? Like this is the real signal leak, and they was using a Israeli version of the Signal app that was, you know, and again, it was sketchy because the guys who actually got fired, it never came out about who fired them, and you could tell they was just trying to fire underlings to keep Hegseth in place. Said Trump demoted him to the U.S. ambassador of the UN. Okay, yeah, I know he was booted out of that position, but for some reason I was like, man, this should be like a big story. I was like, bro, this is a huge story. So Mike Waltz gets exposed as an Israeli spy. It's no other way to put it. It's Israeli, traitor, whatever, trying to disrupt the force. And Trump starts to move differently with Israel. Okay. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you remember this, because I know I covered this. Things are moving so fast that I was recollecting some things at work today, and I was just like, how do we get to this point? So anyways, put a 1 in the chat if you remember. Trump pretty much went cold on Israel, and Israel straight up came out and said, we don't care if America is with us or not. We are going to strike Iran. They pretty much, I'm talking about while Trump is doing all this, we negotiating. In fact, Trump flew over Israel to go negotiate directly with Iran, which again, didn't sit right with Israel. And so Israel just came out and said, we don't care if America's with us or not. We are going to strike Iran ourselves if we have to. And in fact, I remember saying in that live stream, I said, we need to go ahead and Israel, because they finna do something stupid. Because they finna do something stupid. And again, this is the same issue. This the same issue that he had with Zelensky, when he was telling Zelensky, the only reason why you act like a badass is because you have the backing of America. All right. But Israel is the same, but on steroids. All right. So I remember saying that back then, like, yo, this crazy. They pretty much saying they're going to do whatever the fuck they want to do. And, we're going to have to get involved some type of way because it's Israel and, the greatest ally theory, all the rest of that shit. So, that's where things kind of left off, that's where things kind of left off. And there was no negotiations and no talks until recently. Recently, you have Trump coming out and saying, like, acting like he was a part of it. I do not think that the United States was in on the Mossad operation that they ran on Iran. I refuse to believe that America was in on it. We can talk about it. Y'all can. I'm gonna open the panel so we can discuss this. But I really think that Israel did what they did, and then it was like, we have to get involved. And Trump jumped on. I warned them. They didn't listen. It's gonna be more to come. Blah blah. It's just going in. But I think that I definitely think that Trump jumped on board after Israel went ahead and jumped the gun. This is my opinion. I do want to talk about this. I do want to, because I'm pretty sure that Trump was, again, not aligned with Israel for the past 2 or 3 weeks, probably the last month or so. And now all of a sudden it was like, we warned you. We warned you. We tried to tell you. We tried to negotiate. It's going to be more. It's just like, what? Where did that come from? So I do want to talk about that. Another thing that I want to talk about, because again, I have no idea I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what is going on, who's really aligned, what is the object. I have no idea. I'm just sitting here like just watching everything go down. The other thing that I want to talk about was that it looked like Mercy was right. It looked like Mercy was right. It looked like Israel cannot stop the missiles that Iran is running through this Iron Dome. All right, they hitting Tel Aviv. They intercepting some of it, but so far they say it was like 150 missiles sent towards Israel. And it's not looking good, man. It's just not looking good. The other thing is, we are definitely in war. Okay. America is definitely involved. America is definitely on the ground. America is definitely fighting for Mr. Goldstein's front yard and backyard. All right. We here now. All right. No new wars. We got new wars. All right. Congratulations. All right. Congratulations. He said Candace. Candace said that Officer Tate. We're gonna talk about that too, because again, these religious people have to be stopped. They have to be stopped. Listen, there is no way around it. These religious people have to be stopped. Okay? They have to be stopped. Somebody made a good point in Discord. They said that anybody who uses the term God's chosen people, they need to be on the first plane over to Israel and get on the front line and fight amongst God's chosen people. All right. If that's how you rocking, all right, if you really believe that those God, why would you sit back and watch God's chosen people? Like, what purpose do you have higher than helping to defend God's chosen people? Now, again, these are Christian people saying this. Like Officer Tatum saying this. It was a dude at my job, right? I don't really deep dive into politics like that, but we having a conversation, and Buddy said, well, all that land over there, it's in the Bible. And then I was like, okay, man, it's supposed to go down. Like, so it's people already buying into, prophecies and stuff like that. So it's like, we're going to talk about that too, man. The religious people need to be stopped. We have to stop these religious people, man. They have to be stopped. He said, you did make me think, why don't Christians turn Jewish? See? That's not a question for me, man. That's not a question for me, man. Free Zone said the prophecy angle is weak. You can't tell them that. You can't tell people that what's happening in the Middle East is just not some grand prophecy that we have to support. Otherwise, you're not a good Christian. So what else did I want to? What else did I want to bring up? I wanted to bring up some more stuff. Are we done? Nah, nah, nah. I want to lay out all my premises and stuff like that first. So did we forget about yo, did we forget about, what was it, India and Pakistan? Did we forget about India and Pakistan? Is that already over with? I said Tatum was trying to make that angle. Yeah, I already know. I heard a little bit of it, but nah, not buying it. Not buying it. Not buying it. Even the dude at work, he was talking about, he was like, yeah, man, those people, man, they're fucking with those people, man. Those are and that those people are protected. It's in the Bible. I didn't even go there with him, but it was in my heart to just ask him, like, how do you know? How do you know that those people are the Jews that they say they are? Just, and this is where the conservatives fall off, because now they start accepting identity politics. You know what I'm saying? Because people who just identify now they start playing the game that they claim the left plays. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, these are the Jews because they say they're the Jews because they're identifying as the Jews. You know what I'm saying? So it's very weird within this left-right paradigm. You know, like I said, India and Pakistan still going. Man, we lose it. We might lose track of all these conflicts. Yeah. Nah, Mercy, I wouldn't even do that. Yeah, everybody hit the like button as we proceed. As we proceed. Said the world is full of conflict right now. Yes, indeed. Yes. We got it here. Shout out to Easy, man. I appreciate that. Everybody else, Super Chat is available. Cash App is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Real quick, let me get to this China. Let's get to this Donald Trump China deal, right? Let's get to this Donald Trump China deal, right? Now, there was no fucking deal. 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 No deal got worked out with China. Yo. Oh, man. Protest footage, man. I do got to pull up some more protest footage, man. The art of no deals. Yo, listen, he really did pick up the crypto crowd, because in crypto, the announcement of an announcement is like price action gold. It fuels a lot of the crypto market. And when it's like, yeah, we got a deal worked out, but there is no deal worked out. You know, somebody said bring back Emotion Watch. I am. We probably gonna be watching a lot of protests tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure people getting ready to protest for the weekend. So maybe I'll do a late night stream tomorrow. Yeah, only concepts of deals. And that's the only thing he did. He just talked about what they were planning to do with the deals. And China's like, we haven't worked out anything. There's nothing in stone, you know. And I watched that. You know, it's crazy. I actually believed that. I was like, damn, they got a deal with China. You know, that's what's up. Then I went to go look into it. It was like, no. They talk about like bringing Chinese students over. Just a bunch of plans. You know, just a bunch of plans. I do want to talk about this though. Everybody relax. Hit the like button we proceed, as we proceed, the YouTube algorithm has been blessing the guys, man. Really, really looking out for us, but I'm just not being consistent. I'm just not being consistent. I'm having a blast outside. I'm having a lot of fun outside. Walking around. I'd rather be out walking. What they say, bring back man of the week too. We might have to do man of the week too, because it's some I ain't gonna go there. Let me get out the way. I ain't gonna do that. I'm a changed man. I do want to talk about this this senator that got body slammed, man. Let me pull up my X account real quick. All right, so come on, computer. There we go. Yo, you know what's crazy about X is that you have like these military. You have these military officials that are like on X talking and shit, and they got a whole fucking war going on. And they be on X. Here we go. Senator Alex Padilla. Let's talk about it, man. Here we go. Let me see. Share the screen. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. Okay. Trap phone jumping. Here we go. Yeah, we got action now. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Do we want to do this? Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. So how many days till the false flag? So you get out of there. Sleeper cells. Woo! The Muslim sleeper cells. Can we? Hey, I don't think y'all ain't ready to talk about that shit, man. Y'all ain't ready to talk about the Muslim sleeper cells. Y'all ready to talk about the Muslim sleeper cells? Mercy said tomorrow. Let me know when y'all want to talk about the Muslim sleeper cells that's about to, Okay, here we go. All right. So, yeah, stop resisting. Yeah, off rip, easy. Off rip. Said the 100. Yeah, I didn't wear the atom bomb hat on purpose, bro. Hey, no, I didn't wear the atom bomb hat on purpose, man. Everybody relax. Everybody relax, man. What's up? Okay, let's go. Here we go.
Sir,
get the fuck out of
here. Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla.
We don't give a fuck if you're the senator. Let me do this real quick, man. Get off. Okay. Y'all know I love these type of videos, man. I love y'all. Hey, these like my favorite type of videos. These my favorite type of videos, man. I ain't gonna front, man. Hey, these type of videos right here, man. Like I'm fucking. It's my shit right here, man. Hey, Hey, hands off, hands off, hands off. Ain't no fucking hands off.
And sir, hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is, a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your.
Fuck out of here, bro.
How many of our ice agents have been docked?
On the ground. On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you don't my hands, go ahead.
Get the fuck on the ground.
Hands behind hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
Yeah, the nigga, it's the gang, nigga. It's the gang, nigga. Fuck you talking about over here with this fucking bullshit, nigga. sir. Now that I don't think that's the white boys shit. That's the white man shit. I am senator. They don't give a fuck, man. You know, Zovicha said this shit embarrassing. Hey, man. Fuck out of here. Boy, I tell you, man.
There's no recording loud out here. I did not know. There's no recording loud. There's no recording loud. I'm not a member. There's no recording loud. I understand that, sir.
Anyways. This the other angle right here.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is, a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your.
I also want to
Heads off.
how many of our ice agents have been docked for doing their duty, how they have been targeted.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is, a half a dozen violent criminals.
I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck. Sorry. Here he is.
Yeah, let's listen in.
Los Angeles today, and I was here in the federal building, in the conference room, awaiting a scheduled briefing from federal officials as part of my responsibility as a senator to provide oversight and accountability. While I was waiting for the briefing with General Guillot, I learned that Secretary Noem was having a press conference a couple of doors down the hall. Since the beginning of the year, but especially over the course of recent weeks, several of my colleagues, have been asking the Department of Homeland Security for more information and more answers on their increasingly extreme immigration enforcement actions. And we've gotten little to no information in response to our inquiries.
Now, let me say this, because why would they talk to you motherfuckers about that shit? Why would they talk to you motherfuckers about this shit? Like, why would they say, let's tap in with the people that's gonna fuck up the operations so that way, so when we do get there, they already know, they already got strategy and shit on what we trying to do. Like, why in the fuck would they try to tap in with your liberal left-wing politics? Why in the fuck do you think that it's like a good idea? Like, you should understand. You know what I'm saying? This is why, yeah, somebody says he's slow. He might be slow if he think like, we've been trying to get them to tell us what they're doing. No, they're not going to tap in and tell you what they're doing. You know, it is what it is. You know, the policy is, do you have a social security number? Yes or no? No? All right. Do you have legal status here? Yes or no? Yeah, no? Okay. Well, you're out. All right. That's what it is. Okay. It's not much to it. This whole thing was just like, yo, it says we got to figure out what's no. The problem is, okay, we have illegal immigrants. Okay, that's what they own. Okay. Do I agree with it? No. All right. Y'all know my stance on illegal immigration, legal immigration. I'm down for cheap labor. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to be able to make it. All right. I'm down with cheap labor. Fair exchange is not a robbery. People want to come over here and make 5 times as much as they will make in their own country and 200 times less than everybody else in this country. I'm cool with that. Y'all know, hey, I'm cool with that. All right. I'm cool with that. I said left his money. Yeah. Nah. No. Just don't get caught. All right. I'm still against it. Listen, I'm still against it, but I don't have nothing. Listen, if it was like, if I'm in this bullshit country, if I just make it to America and then I can provide for my family a whole lot, I'm gonna go to America too. I'm a crawl a fence. I'm a scale a fence too. Yeah. Oh, they said get out of there. Nah, I can't get out of there, bro. I just it is what it is, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna go get it. You know, the Mexicans, they back outside over here. Just so everybody know, you know, I be going on my walks. I walk past this one little section. You know, they just hanging out, looking for work. You pull up with the truck. You say, hey, man, look, got some concrete, got some roofing, got some lawn work. Who can do what? We gonna work this out. Bada bing, bada boom. Everybody's happy. All right. That's how I see it. But of course, it's still illegal. All right. So yes, if anybody's wondering, if it came down to it, okay. Yes, I would break the law to eat. I will break the law to survive. I will. Yes, I would. Absolutely. So I'm not playing stupid with everybody else. What are you, you know? And then it's like, do I even want to go down that road right now? I could feel a rant coming on. Man. The amount of like when we destabilize different countries and shit, then when people, they can't build no economies and no shit, and then when the people come here, we like, no, come over here with that. You know what I'm saying? It get kind of silly, but I'm gonna get out of there. It is kind of, it's quite silly whenever it's just like, you know, you wage economic warfare on somebody's fucking country, and then when people try to escape that shit, it'd be like, nah, don't come over here with that shit. Look, like a disagreeable say, here we go. Hey, listen, man, I'm just keeping it a buck, man. I'm just keeping it a buck. You know, I'm not being, you know, it's kind of like, it ain't kind of like, it's passive aggressive as fuck whenever you just be like, oh, we don't know why those people coming over here. Go back to your country. It's like, you got our trading partners in a chokehold. He said, I knew Ty was Haitian. No, I'm not Haitian. I fuck with the Haitians though. Shout out to the Haitians, man. But anyways, as we proceed, man. Is what it is, man. Okay, now what are we doing? Okay, here we go. Let me get back over here real quick, man.
And so I came to the press conference to hear what she had to say, to see if I could learn any new additional information. And at one point, I had a question. And let me emphasize, just as we've emphasized the right for people to peacefully protest and to stand up for their First Amendment rights, for our fundamental rights. I was there peacefully. At one point, I had a question. And so I began to ask a question. I was almost immediately forcibly removed from the room. I was forced to the ground, and I was handcuffed. I was not arrested. I was not detained. I will say this. If this is how this administration responds to a senator with a question, if this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks.
All right. Just say illegal immigrants, man. Imagine what they doing to people who broke the law, nigga. Anyways. imagine what they're doing to the cooks. Imagine what they're doing to no. They're probably locking them up. All right. Let's just get into the bullshit. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this. Anybody want to come up, chop it up? Anybody want to come through, chop it up? Let's talk about this because World War III and chill. Like, how do this even get like de-escalate? I don't even think they're gonna de-escalate this shit, man. I think this shit finna go crazy. Because I don't think the Jews gonna be like, yeah, there was that one time. I don't think they playing like that. You know. So I don't think you're going to see Mexicans at Home Depot anymore. They're about to be replaced with some other immigrants. Hey, Dudley, they out here. Nobody want to hit the link. This might be one of the shortest live streams ever. Somebody said Home Depot got crickets. So Mossad, let's talk about this operation that Mossad did, because that was some cold work. The way they struck Iran with that much precision, that many different targets all at once. They had to have been working on that for a long time. And I think it was they called out all the U.S. citizens out of Iraq, if I'm not mistaken. They was like they had to get out of there. But Easy, what's up with you, bro?
What's going on, man? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. I think a lot of this stuff, man, is like you said. I don't think it's going to de-escalate either, man. They kind of need a good little bit of stuff going on because they really trying to pass these bills, and usually when there's a lot of stuff going on, they get them bills passed in the middle of the night easy. Ain't nobody really paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Because I think they coming up on the vote for because they trying to get this stuff done, I think, before the 4th of July. So they only got, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah. Because I look at it like this, right? Like the Iron Dome has been exposed like a motherfucker, man. And I don't think it's no looking back now, because Iran already got a taste for the blood already. I don't care what nobody say. Israel need our backing, bro. Like that's what I'm seeing right now. Is like Israel definitely need our backing.
Yeah, that's how they do all the time, man. They know they can't do like a sustained war whatsoever, but they know they can initiate it. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they getting ready for America to, But it's gonna take a harder hit though. Like I know they got some of them bombs through the dome, but I want to see some shit like what Russia been doing, what Russia was doing, where they, you know, getting like 10 ballistics to go through hitting one spot. That's what's
Well,
gonna really do some damage.
Ukraine sending like 300, 400 drones at a time.
Yeah. But see, you got to think too. I don't think the distance that the Ukraine stuff is going is as going as far. So it's probably easier for them to get a lot more. And then too, you got to think with Ukraine and Russia, they don't got to worry about like another country really intercepting a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they both right beside each other. I think
Mhm.
they said like Lebanon and somebody else actually was shooting down some of the missiles and drones before they even got to Israel. Like they was helping them out too.
No,
Man.
ain't nobody help. Who what? No, nobody help. Uh, I was gonna say one dude did, but they didn't. Because Iran already told them if anybody help, they gonna destroy their country. So, but America helped. Um, my legs getting tired, man.
Hey, okay, look. So let's start with Russia, Ukraine. We got to start with Russia, Ukraine with you, Mercy, because it looked like Russia having a hard time. Mercy, what's going on, bro?
Whoa, hold on, wait. You ain't see all them bombs they just dropped? They dropped. Oh
The,
my.
hey, listen. Putin came out and said it's time to put a logical end to this, a logical conclusion to this situation. That was like 2 weeks ago.
That wasn't before hold on, wait. Is that after the attack on the bombers? And then
Yeah, they took out
Ru-
like 30-40% of
no,
the.
they didn't. They took out 5, and some of them didn't even have engines in them.
I don't know, Mercy.
Hey, it already came out. Ukraine was using AI
What do you
to
mean?
make it look like they attacked a whole bunch of bombers. Crazy.
Okay, so Ukraine was using AI. It
Israel was
was
using
it,
AI.
okay. So now whenever the footage come out, it's AI.
No, they was. This is new to me. I didn't think they would do it, but they trying to make it look like it's more than it was. And Russia,
No.
if you
I see somebody post a video and it was like, yo, this is AI. But it looked
mm,
like it was like some bombs going off. And I was like, bro, that's AI.
yeah, they saying they using AI now because it's
But
an information war.
yeah, but what's the fucking point? Like, okay,
To
no, listen,
information.
hear me
Go
out,
ahead.
hear
Uh-huh.
me out, right? So it's a fake, I put out a fake bomb, right? It's a fake ass explosion and shit, right? Is is it to make people believe that I'm winning? Like, because this, if you don't actually win and you get people to think you won, like, where's the you see what I'm saying? Like, where's the win and
Right.
making people think you won? Like,
O-
you lost.
Okay.
Like,
Ukraine. Now Israel is different because I'm not sure exactly, but Ukraine is using AI because what they want to do is show America that they still in the fight, so that America will still support them, send them money, send them weapons. So that's why Ukraine is using AI. Now, Israel, I guess, is trying to make it seem like they bigger than they are. And they didn't think they probably thought Iran was gonna take 2 weeks like they did last time to send a retaliation, and they was gonna have this victory lap, and they was gonna keep hitting Iran all week long because that's what Netanyahu said. He said it's gonna be a 2 week long campaign, and shit, Iran hit them back in 24 hours.
Who you got? Who you got winning this?
Oh man, it's gonna be tough if the U.S. The goal is for Israel to pull the U.S. in. So
We already in.
not necessarily, not necessarily.
But
We want to.
they reporting that we intercepting.
Right. That's all we gonna do. We said that we won't attack Iran, but we will help defend Israel. So that's where we at now. So and the
Hmm.
reason why I said tomorrow, I wouldn't go to that victory mean that march. I wouldn't be in no
Oh,
big
yeah,
crowds.
hey, I'm glad you brought that up because tomorrow is the 250th anniversary of the military, and
Yeah.
it's Donald Trump's birthday. Um, I got money on some bullshit going on. Like, I
Who you
got
think gonna do it though?
uh, I don't
Either
know. I don't
Israel
know.
or Iran.
I don't
It's
know.
probably gonna be both, man.
I think it's gonna be
I
Israel.
wouldn't go to that shit. Like,
I, I wouldn't go to the mall.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere tomorrow, bro. I'm sitting back. I'm
You
sitting
just
back
don't know
listening.
with Israel, man. You know, they'll do
remember,
another man.
hey,
They brought down the towers.
remember when I said we have to triple cross Israel, get them off the map before they fucking complicate the situation?
And then they'll release the Jeffrey Epstein's and our whole.
Well, oh my bad. My bad. I was trying to bring up Dave. My bad.
Is this the
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
so is the Suez Canal gonna be open?
Good question. Good question. I know that motherfucker shut down right now.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of shit going on, dog.
The Suez Canal, that's Egypt, right?
Yeah, that's the
Shit, that's
Sinai.
yeah, that's probably still. It's what's the one that's attached to Iran? They haven't closed it yet, anyway.
That's for a move. Nah, they ain't
Yeah,
closed there yet.
yeah. As long as we don't attack Iran, but the goal is, like I was saying, for Israel to get the U.S. in. Only how they could get Israel, get the U.S. in, is some false flag or Iran overreact, does something that's so dramatic that the U.S. feel they got to get in to save Iran, to save Israel. And Iran just said that one of their generals said that they waiting to launch this other missile, and people gonna really see what it's about.
So you saying because I was watching some videos and it looked like Iran had some shit stockpiled deep in them
Oh yeah,
hills. And they probably never show what they really got. Who the fuck would do that? Right.
nah, yeah. They
So
probably got a nuclear weapon.
The thing is that um I just want to stress that you just can't say Iran. Y'all gotta look at it how who used to say that? The daddy the father Bush, the axis of evil. So when you say Russia, you can't just say Russia. You have to say Russia, Iran, China, North Korea.
Why do you have to say this? I mean, I understand your point, but why do you have to? Are we saying that like they evil, or are we saying that
They
because
allied, they militarily allied?
that I agree with because Iran, if the U.S. and Israel get rid of Iran, then that leaves, I think, Russia's south border open or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, on the Caspian Sea on the other side.
So, but I don't see an end because Israel is not going to back down and say they lost.
Israel,
Go ahead.
y'all already know. Israel already said we'll take the whole world down if we have to.
Yeah.
I don't like saying that. Hey, they probably got some shit to detonate in Israel if they start losing too bad. You know what I'm saying? Like
them, if we their biggest ally, they got nuclear missiles pointed at us.
Shout out to Chris. What up, Chris? Hey, Chris. I might be getting me a cowboy hat, man. I went to Cavender's the other day. I almost did it, but I just not just yet. Not just yet, man. See how far as I ran from Israel? It's about 2 hours away, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's like
4,000
or 1,200 miles or something like that.
It's like 4 hours away, I believe.
I think you was right on 2. You know, I was just watching the video. You know, I've been watching a lot of videos about this.
Yeah, they said it takes 16 minutes for a missile to get there.
For them hypersonics.
It might be. It's like.
So the reason why I say all these is linked together is because you got active stress points in each one of those areas, and the goal is this is what I think they trying to do to us, right? We stretched. You see what I'm saying? You got the active front over there in Ukraine. Now it's active in Iran, and they done ramped up in circling drills. They had 2 carriers over there past Taiwan and past Japan, right? So I think the goal of what they allyship is trying to do is get some type of overcommitment in one of these theaters and take advantage of that in another. So
hold on, wait. My bad. Are you saying that Russia and Iran and China is the aggressor?
No, I'm saying that they're allies.
Okay.
And as allies with 3 active fronts against another group of allies, I think the game is to try to, at this point, or what I see is why I don't think that the play that just happened in the Middle East was good, because if it go a little too far, then it's going to require a lot of resources and commitment of the U.S. at the detriment of being able to keep these other fronts at bay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we supposed to be focusing in on what they said they would, not we, but United States was saying that, hey, we got to focus in on the Indo-China region. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they call it. The China, whatever they call it, island chain. But this is if this escalate more, this is a continuous distraction, because you gotta have more than Navy over
there. If Iran comes out, if U.S. jumps in, or God forbid, the crazy regime launch a nuclear missile at Iran, then Russia's gonna get involved. And if I was China, I would go ahead and take Taiwan.
Well, this is smart. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? This is actually, I think this is actually a smart move, because America has had the luxury of World War I and World War II. We had the luxury of being able to come in late, and close the game. And we came in as like a closing pitcher and close the game, right? The reason why I think what they did was smart is they're making America play early. And I think they're doing this because if they think, like I said, they're going to stretch us, like they're going to stretch us too thin, stretch us too far, so that they can almost or attempt to beat us. So stretch us out and get us in early. And I think that's a position that America has not ever been in any world wars. We always were close knit, came in late.
And we wasn't, and we didn't have somebody fighting us next door to us. And the other countries didn't have missiles that could get here. Besides nuclear missiles, now they got conventional missiles that could get here.
Wait, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Mercy. So I got a question. So does the Ayatollah, does he is he in Tehran, or he's somewhere else in Iran?
He should. Well, I don't know it now, because I mean they bombing, but I'm pretty sure he's in a bunker in Iran.
I'm about to say, because see, the way I'm looking at it is I don't even know, man. Like, I think if they keep doing these surgical strikes and actually taking out these leaders in the military, it's gonna be kind of hard after a while. Because that's really how they took out Hezbollah. So it's gonna be hard for them if they let this keep going on for a couple weeks and they
Well,
start hitting them. Like if they do go towards a nuke, like what Dave's saying, bro, I think they might take the
I didn't say
Ayatollah out and everybody.
well,
the
well,
nuclear option is totally off the table.
Because if they take out
well,
all
not
the
with
top
Israel. You
leadership,
can't.
they're not gonna be
Ain't
able
nothing
to.
off the table with Israel.
It kind of is like now I'm starting to more connect the dots. Why did that flashpoint in Kashmir between India and Pakistan happen?
But they reasonable
Exactly.
countries, though.
No,
Those
listen,
are.
listen.
Uh huh.
You have to understand that China borders Kashmir. It is the link between Pakistan and China. They can't touch, there's no border. It's like Pakistan, Kashmir, then China. And then if you look at the outcome, I'm not even talking about the economics because they've been going full fledged with oil pipes and ports in Pakistan, right? But if you look at the outcome of what happened, they transferred their missile defense systems to help Pakistan, and they gave them longer range missiles. And when you look at where Pakistan sits, that's the corridor to even get to Iran. And they've already built the first the belt and they built a road on
Yes.
railway
Yes.
directly
It's
to
about trade.
Iran, huh?
Hmm.
It's about trade and world domination.
But
But
they're
but
allied.
but the but the
And
way y'all
Pakistan is the only Muslim country with the nuke.
yeah, but the way that you all are sort of explaining it sounds like America's not the aggressor.
No, I'm
America's the
just
aggressor.
explaining the battle. I mean the
Well, the
field.
United States is the
I,
aggressor.
I, I I don't. I do. At this point,
No,
I
I'm
don't. I
explaining
don't
the
know if it
field of play.
does it matter who's the aggressor or not at this point.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I don't think it matters if we're going to all if it's going to be a big melee and a big mosh pit. I don't think it matters at that point.
If look, if America stops what they're doing, the world could be at peace.
That's not true. That is
That,
not
that,
true.
yeah,
The United
that's
States is the biggest supplier of
That
terrorism
is the one of the
in the
most
world.
naive statements you could
I'm,
have ever made.
wait a
I'm not
minute.
even dissing
Wait
you.
a
That's a
minute. I'm
naive
not even
statement.
on that.
Them in Israel, they supply ISIS. They supply what's the
The
other one? ISIS.
Taliban, no. All those are
What was the other
those
one
are
that
those
Osama was with?
Taliban. Those were weapons. They gained weaponry because we left those areas and was able to
No,
transport our
no,
weaponry
no,
with
no,
us.
no. We had Osama bin Laden on the payroll
He
way
was on the
before that.
payroll. He was paid opposition, and
All right,
I agree with you.
but
ISIS and the
I
Taliban
wasn't
was paid
talking
opposition.
about
That's true.
I wasn't talking about whose side are right and wrong. I was just telling where the chess pieces are on the board. That's all I was talking about.
Okay.
Is this side of the whatever you want? I don't like saying allies, axis, or nothing like that. But Alliance A and Alliance B. You see what I'm saying? Where they're sitting, what the flashpoints are. And from what I can see, I never understood like why did India and Pakistan, why did that flashpoint happen? But
Because because the United States sponsored terrorists that's on the Pakistani border that actually killed those people in India.
no, I think that they needed if this Iran thing was gonna happen, they definitely needed Pakistan because not need them, but they needed them to be, I don't want to say under attack, but preoccupied with other things since them being the only Muslim country with a nuke. And and it's all making sense. And if that happens, what will be the responses from a China? And the responses were spectacular, not spectacular, but like if you're looking at it from like not a war planner, but like a Secretary of Defense, you'd be looking like, wow, we yielded so much information from this because they transferred a lot of missile not transferred the know-how, but delivered payloads of a lot of different things, and now it looks like they're going to supply them with the first stealth fighter. I mean, not first, but you know, they're J20 variant for export purposes. So I'm looking at how this alliance B is operating. When Ukraine was happening, they sourced China for a lot of manufacturing. They leaned on Iran for a lot of missile components, and they also leaned on North Korea for some troops. They
And
operating as an alliance at every flashpoint.
Well, they didn't exactly lean on for the troops. North
It was
Korea
just
volunteered
Well,
their troops
yeah,
because
you
they
know,
wanted them to
yeah,
yeah,
have the what you call it.
yeah,
yeah. They
But
wanted them to get trained.
the Israel, I mean not the Israel, but the Pakistan India thing, I believe was more or less having to deal with India going into BRICS. I think the United States wanted to interrupt that,
but you know,
and
I've been
that's why they use the terrorists.
I
That's they whole that's they calling card.
I
Yeah,
agree
but
with
they
that,
already in bricks though.
but so they
Now
already in bricks. But see,
they own BRICS, but they like standing on the edge.
No, they're
yeah,
like one of the
they ain't no
original
edge of
members.
that. You either
yeah,
in or
Yeah,
yeah.
out. You either in or
He's
out.
right. They are standing on the
and they
edge
standing on the edge because
because
you
relations
don't
with
forget
China is
United States
sour.
is
Yeah,
Adam.
yeah.
You
Relationship
you
with
either
China is sour, and you know for a fact they don't want to be part of how can I say it, a currency where China, a currency union where
Because
China's
yeah,
at the leader.
because I don't know if who was it they just asked. I don't know if it was India. They asked somebody to trade in their own currency, and they decided that they wasn't going to do it. They wanted to trade in the United States dollar. I think that was India.
Yeah,
that
but I
was
thought that they.
India playing both sides of the field. So
Yes, yes.
I
That's
do think
yeah.
what India is doing is trying to play for the bigger piece of the pie, and they
Yeah.
think that America is willing to give them the bigger piece of the pie. Now there's something that we're overlooking, right? So
Go ahead.
Damn it.
Benjamin
Hold on.
Netanyahu Benjamin Netanyahu came out
What
the
the
day and said, based on the Bible, they are supposed to do what they're doing. So there's a side of spiritual warfare, and not as we personally think it is, but as how they think it is, that they're going to do this stuff. They say that Israel and Iran will be a major biblical and social political event in our world in the world history. And that was speaking of this before it even happened. So I think this is man. I know Ty City said we got to stop the Christians, but I think this was biblically meant to happen, dog. This had to happen, and that's one thing we
Um,
overlooking.
No, bro. I don't agree to that.
yeah, it's about money, man. And
This was written. This
Yeah.
was written before the money. This was written before they were they were printing the money, man. This is
the truth is America. I hate to say this, America has to harvest a country basically the size of Iran. It was either Iran or try to do China. China's out the picture. Now they're just trying to contain. And the reason that America's trying to harvest is because as a reserve currency, it's expected that these dollars that are put out here in circulation and leave out of the United States, it's expected that those excess dollars are deposited back into the United States as investments. That was the deal. And so
that's true.
as you're printing up this money and losing a larger percentage out of circulation and just building a greater wealth in somebody else's currency, it turns into what we're doing is like, hey, if we can't topple somebody, everybody gonna get the whip and lash, because we have to harvest. That's why he was talking about harvesting Canada. You
And we
know,
saw, and I was speaking on this earlier because they got the Iron Dome over there in Israel. I knew America was going to get a version of the Iron Dome over here because what we're about to do on a world stage is about to put us. It's about to put us in the target of the world. This about to get real, and as Americans, we're gonna have to get with it, dog. Like I don't think we have a choice at this point. We have to get with this shit because they're going to do it. So we have to almost back it because we're as American citizens, we're in the middle of this shit right now. And we're going to have to back it and roll with it. And they're not going to back down from what they're doing. So we can argue and debate about it, but we're going to have to get with it. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to get with it.
Yeah,
I'm only
four
I'm
hours.
only
2 hours
for
is not
like
that
if
many.
they start doing them sleeper cells, we're gonna have to get down and dirty. But as far as like starting to send troops somewhere, I ain't with all that. Like if it comes down to it, like to prevent utter destruction of the country, that's one thing. But nah, I ain't. What you mean by we got to get with it? What you mean, like support it?
Because for the past 20 years they've been arguing about. See, that's the reason why. Look, the mess. What's going on with the Mexicans is about proxy war. They really want to get to the Taliban, ISIS, the Chinese nationalists, and all those, and the people, the people that's at that border, that's crossing that border. I think Ty City and I even talked about all these Chinese people that's trying to buy farm and ranch land down here in Texas. It's a major, and Texas had to pass a law that Chinese foreign nationals can no longer buy Texas ranch land. So what's happening is them going after Mexicans is not because if you live in Texas, the ice trucks is not running no more than they have been. I ain't seen no ice truck yet. Right, no ice van yet. What it really is, what it really is. Those sleeper cells are real. They did recon down there, and those sleeper cells are real, dog. It's not a. It's I don't think it's fake at all.
You
Yeah, I
just
know that.
you just pointed out the scenario what I was just saying, where they gotta park their money back in the United States. Just like the Middle East, he went over there to say, yo, y'all gotta park a lot of y'all money invested back into the United States.
Yeah, but you got to think though. It is a part of them other like nationals coming through, like the Chinese and the different Arab nationals and stuff like that coming through. But the reason why I think that this stuff is going down with ICE and the Hispanics specifically, and especially in like California, Arizona, Texas, it's probably gonna start popping off in Vegas too, is because y'all got to think they declared the cartels terrorists,
Yeah, they have.
and then you got to think, why did they do that now? Because they trying to close up loose ends with the cartels, because all these lawsuits probably getting ready to start coming through for the pharmaceutical companies and stuff with
It's
the
bigger than that.
RFK stuff.
It's
And so,
coming through
but
with the gun. It's coming through with the gun companies. Mexico is suing all of our gun manufacturers because they said because Mexico they have a no gun policy. So all the crimes that have been committed in Mexico by guns have been with American guns with American bullets. So America has to tie that lawsuit up. That's a big lawsuit we have to
yeah,
tie up. And then we also have to worry about the fact that the cartel double crossed us and started working with those with ISIS, because at one point you couldn't tell the difference between a Mexican and an Arab down that motherfucker.
yeah.
I'm keeping real with you.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. But see, this why this is a part of, they are funding some of these protests. But you got to think who funding it. It's not just like the George Soros. It's the cartels funding some of these protests too. Because you gotta think, bro. I'm telling you, I lived in El Paso, bro. I literally seen this with my.
Why?
I
What?
literally
Hold on.
lived near directly with this stuff.
Why would the cartels? Why would the cartels try and make America? Well, try and make the United States angry?
No, it's
Because
not
the
that they
United
trying to
States,
make the U.S. No, it's not they trying to make the U.S. angry. It's they don't they trying to get around. See, it's a reason why Trump opened up El Salvador and sending people off to El Salvador. They know that it's probably
Okay.
from what hold on from what
What's the benefit of the cartel funding protests in the
no
United
I'm
States?
about to explain it to you.
because we're about to
They want
because we're double
they
crossing
want to
them.
they want to keep the open border thing going in a certain way. Like, and the reason why they want to do that is because they trying to blur the lines between the legal citizens and the people that's coming across because they having kids and stuff together. But what's happening is that's why Trump was saying, or they was hinting that they might send U.S. citizens. They want to try and send U.S. citizens off somewhere too. And that's because, like I said, I lived in El Paso, bro. It's hella U.S. citizens that's doing stuff on the side for the cartels, and they mostly
That is
Hispanic
very true.
people, and they
You
all
remember El
over.
Blanco, the
Yeah,
white boy? El
Yeah,
Blanco, the
they
yeah.
white boy that
all.
But
was
my
running
thing
guns.
is, just hear me out. Just hear me out. If the cartel was really funding these protests, and and they made it public knowledge, meaning with documents and everything, that would give the United States the right to go at them with the military. The cartel does not want to go head up with the United States military.
Right, but see,
That's not that's not technically true.
that's why they sent it. But see, they're not gonna do that with no paperwork. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They
Exactly, not gonna
doing
be
it with the
paperwork.
drug money that they already sending
No, no, no,
through.
no, 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 no. I said the United States government would actually put the documents out saying that the cartel is funding these protests.
They don't have the documents to put out there. What I'm telling you is
There ain't.
this
Yeah,
is
that's what I'm
They would
saying.
do
They're
the
not going.
document. They got to do some
no.
investigation.
So everybody is fighting, trying to get double crossed. The cartel know that America's going to double cross them. They know that Operation Fast and the Furious and them running guns to America, all that shit backfired. So everybody's trying to not get double crossed. That's just why they got in bed with those with ISIS and Taliban at the border and the Chinese nationalists and was shipping fentanyl into this motherfucker because everybody's fighting, not trying to get double crossed. America's not trying to get double crossed off Fast and the Furious, run those guns to the cartel. Then
Yeah, but
everyone's trying not to
but
get double
we
crossed.
talking about, but we talking about back in Eric Holder
Yeah,
was over that.
yeah.
Like
Dog,
nigga,
it's all
Yeah,
this is tied, dog. It's all tied.
I ain't even talking about that. I'm just talking about the stuff that's just still going on right now. Dudes moving drugs. Like I said, I've literally seen this, bro, where it's like at least 35% of El Paso population in some form, somebody in their family doing something for the cartel. That's what I'm saying. The reason why they don't want them getting this many people out. And you see where Trump and them saying they targeting people that's already don't got arrested for little stuff. They targeting the hard criminals. Those is the people that's helping like keep the infrastructure of the cartel going in America.
Hold
And
on.
that's why they trying to
Wait.
that's why they got literal people protesting saying they want to keep niggas that's killing people and stuff in
Was
America.
drugs coming to this country before this big immigration push before these last 4 years? Was drugs getting in this country?
Absolutely.
yeah,
Not no.
Was the cartel
It's the type of drugs.
still making $1 billion?
No, it was a type of drugs. They were sending dirt, weed, and Mexican tar, heroin
Huh?
before. But see, China
Fentanyl
openly
just fentanyl just got big,
exactly. China openly said they will use fentanyl as a weapon. They openly said they will use it as a weapon to weaken the American people.
but it's still a drug.
wait. Hold on. Where did they say that at, Pastor?
Yo, it's documented. I go find. See, y'all always try to pull me. I'll go find a
No, I'm
document.
just saying.
Yeah, for them to say that,
wanna-
yeah, that would be like an act of war.
It is that is an act of war. That's why Trump trying to stop it. Yeah, I'll go find it somewhere. I'll find it.
I know Trump administration has said it's been that China is doing it, but I haven't seen China come back and say it.
Mercy,
China has
hold up.
admitted. They admitted. They said they're using it as an act of war.
Not that I don't believe China is doing it as an act of war, but I don't believe they would admit it.
They said it. I promise. I would not lie to you. They said it, bro. I seen a document. I find that article. It was an article, so you can. So the fact that it was an article,
Was
the fact it was an article, the fact it was an article, you can call me on it. The fact it's an article, you can call me on that.
It came from the CCP.
It didn't exactly. That's what I'm saying. It didn't come from the CCP. It came from an article, and it was an American written article. So you can call me on that.
No, I'm saying okay. So they said like we plan on pushing fentanyl to America on purpose to like
as a weapon. That was because you remember during the pandemic there was a big push to get marijuana, and every nation was fighting for marijuana over Kazakhstan because everyone was trying to get there.
I don't think they would openly say that.
They did. I mean, I'm telling you, they did.
It would be an act of war.
Oh my God!
Have you ever heard of the opium? Have you ever heard of the opium wars?
But to his defense, though, Trump said that he directly talked to Xi about the fentanyl. Like that.
How many times have Trump lied about talking to somebody?
Well, see, that's the thing. The fentanyl not made. The fentanyl
directly talking to Xi, though.
is not made in China.
It's made in Canada.
The chemicals
It's
that
the
are used to
precursors.
make the fentanyl is sent to Mexico and maybe China in order to make. I mean, not China, in Canada in order to make the fentanyl. The fentanyl is made in Mexico.
That's true. That's true. You
It's
are
not
right
made in
about that.
China.
But
Yeah, they
who's
make the
sending?
chemicals. They make
Who's
the
sending?
chemicals over here.
Look,
They
so
make the precursors, right? And
when
then send it to
Volkswagen
Mexico.
when
Yeah, but
Volkswagen
don't
and
forget
Ford,
fentanyl is used in hospitals too. So
but we
But
use
that's
a clean version.
there's
No, no,
a
no, no. We're using a clean version of it. You can't compare it. You
I'm
cannot
just
compare
saying
it.
that, but I'm just saying that those chemicals are going to get made anyway because they use that stuff in
Yeah,
hospitals.
yeah.
But
again,
there's a
that
different
those.
type of regulation that goes behind that.
But look,
When they send those what the act of war is when they send po- those those chemicals to Mexico, like keeping the tech he said, and when they manufacture a drug, they're not manufacturing the same drug that we're getting in the hospital. They were running lean across the damn border
I'm not
too.
saying that they are. I'm not saying that they are. What I'm
They was
saying is,
definitely hold on. They was definitely producing promethazine codeine right here in Carrollton, Texas.
That's true, and also they got caught with all those weed houses that the
Yeah, they
Asians
got
own.
chemicals. Yeah,
All
they
those
got
toxicity.
chemistries and all that shit. They be doing all that shit, bro.
So they already, you right, they have these sleeper cells in America already putting these drugs together. They had weed houses that the Asians ran in Carrollton as well that they got caught with. Y'all can easily Google search that.
Hey,
It
hey, I was
so
gonna say that if we're gonna talk about that, I know y'all heard the story about that them Asian people that was at the university or something to do with agriculture where they smuggled in some type of fungus that they was growing that they was planning on releasing onto the US to destroy the crops and stuff. They just arrested like I think 3 or 4 people doing
yeah,
that.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about
Yeah, so
that.
I'm not arguing. So going back to my point of why I brought up the cartels though is I'm not arguing that you know it's not a complex thing, but what I'm saying is that the reason why these riots and stuff happening, it ain't just like inside U.S. forces. Like I said, the George Soros is trying to get this to go off. It's other people and other organizations that's invested in this happening. But that's why I was saying like it don't make sense because Trump already don't gave a path forward for the damn farmers and the maids and the
Mm.
other illegals and stuff. He already don't said they literally gonna have a path forward. So it's like, what are the protests still going on about? And that's why I said it's because the cartels are trying to
Well,
keep they
Nah,
trying to keep
no,
even their
it's the
let
people
me
that's the
I'm going
hardened
nah,
criminals
let me
here.
I'm going to believe it's the
let me
Democrats.
let me fuck out. Nah, it ain't got nothing to do with that or
Uh,
whatever. This is what it got to do with, bro. It's got to do. Forget the cartels. The cartels is a distraction, bro. Like all that fentanyl crap, that's a distraction. And y'all probably already know where I'm going because that's what I say every time I come up here. This shit is so Trump and a lot of these people that are around him. They're basically trying to dismantle the U.S. government. They are taking down different ports. They're trying to take down different ports of the government. That's why they sent the Marine Corps in there to try to test the waters to see if they can actually put the military in a U.S. city, which has never been done before since they did the Insurrection Act back when Lincoln or whoever the fuck was was the president. They haven't done that shit since then.
you
He's
can
trying to
do it.
test the waters to see how far he can go with a lot of this stuff. That's why they appealed because they actually just won in court.
hold on, wait.
Gavin Newsom just won in court to get the damn National Guard out of the
But
city.
hold on.
And so
So by
nah,
your
let me
logic,
finish. Y'all been up here talking the whole time. Let me go
I
on
just
and
wanted to
cook.
make something clear
Go ahead.
so
Go
that I
ahead.
can
Go ahead.
understand. Are you saying that Trump is funding the protest,
I'm not saying Trump is funding the.
Trump is using the protest
They using this as a
because it's
reason
happening
to,
anyway?
yeah,
Okay.
they amping this shit up too. You know what I'm saying? Because the protest was actually peaceful before they sent in a lot of the National Guard and all this other crap that they putting out there. Like you were saying that they solved like he put out a tweet that they solved the protests or whatever, or the protests had started dying down. And then National Guard hadn't even got there. He was just trying to rile up his base, saying that he had solved the problem by sending in the National Guard. But the protests had already kind of died down. So
No,
he just, bro, I'm telling you, it's just all him trying to take power away from the judiciary. They're trying to take power away from, well, they already took power away from the legislative branch, because the Senate, the Republicans over there in the Senate, they ain't doing shit over there. They not pushing back at all. They just letting Trump do whatever he want to do. So and then also like Russell Vought, right now, what he's doing is he's going. There's an article that just came out about him. I gotta find that article again, bro. He's trying to circumvent the judiciary by holding funds. No, not the judiciary. The actual the legislative branch. The legislative branch, by holding funds till the end of the physical year. September, whatever, the end of the physical year, which ends in September 31st. That's when the physical year actually ends. So he's trying to hold funds to try to take away the power of the purse from the legislative branch. Well, from the Senate.
So I told you know what, Tiki, you ain't crazy. I actually agree with you.
Hey,
So
Tech,
therefore,
what you think about this?
hold on. Let me cook real quick. I'll be real quick. The reason why I think Trump is trying to take power from all those other agencies is because he sees them as corrupt. These agencies have been doing business with these systems up to now, and we have to slow it down or stop it. So I think he's, because look, so he would have to use the Insurrection Act, or I think to promote martial law, right? Trump wants to go around that. He does not want to have to insurrect any act to any legislative, Congress, Senate. He ain't trying to ask anybody. He's trying to just do it. So that's the reason why you have this no king shit going on tomorrow. Because the reality of it is, Trump is moving like a king. That is true. That is true. There's no way
this
around
is all
it.
from, and that's why I brought up Russell Vought, because he was one of the people that wrote part of Project 2025, and I know people get upset when I bring that shit up.
Hold on.
But
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Wait a minute. I haven't done my research, but I have been tipped off about apparently Project 2025 is going off the rails and it's falling apart. That's what a little birdie.
Now
said.
I have heard
this was somebody who was this was somebody who was all about Project 25, was like, hey man, they abandoning that shit.
It's because the Christian nationalists, the National Reform Apostolic and aggressive Christians have went crazy, and it's not. So Tassi, this is the big thing. They're trying to blur the line between.
What the fuck I was finna say
Man,
earlier.
they're trying to blur the line between church and state. So therefore, they're trying to push this as a religious war. So I agree with you. All the man, y'all just. I mean, never mind, man. Y'all just don't understand how this shit is moving.
No, hold on.
I just don't agree that it's Trump. Trump is not the only one trying to take power. You got different fractions of the United States, period, trying to take.
But that's what I'm saying. Like this where you get the fractures after Elon, you know what I'm saying, broke off, and then like, because you got people who they don't fuck with the tariffs. Like even Elon even posted it. He was like, hey, the tariffs are gonna bring fucking recession soon. Like what? And the crazy part is people, the same people who was riding with Elon the whole time, now that he spoke against the tariffs, they was like, nah, he don't know what he's talking about. But again, like we talking about somebody who had $500 billion in his net worth. And then now people don't believe rich people.
No, people do not believe rich people, because rich people, get their money doing dirty shit. Hey yo, you
No,
do
All
you do
rich
you
people.
really
people.
do you really believe?
That went over your head, Pastor.
No, it did not go over my head. No, we don't rich. We don't. They don't believe him because
I
they know he
I
got his money from
I believe
somewhere,
that you're right, that
and
it
it
was a
was
split.
organic.
Elon took a fraction, but I believe Elon. I think Elon convinced the old boy from Palantir to come over, and Palantir, the dude from Palantir, is staying with Trump. And from my understanding, the riots, the reason why they kicking up so much stuff in L.A. because there's protests going around the country, but they gonna use L.A. for a technology identity thing,
Yeah, you're
Hmm.
and
right. Yeah,
Palantir is supposed
yeah,
to be
politics.
behind this.
Yeah, but you're wrong about the order of those things. Elon did not have to go get Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel was already with
Yeah, he
Elon.
was already there.
He was already with him. You're wrong about the
He
order,
was
but you're
with he
right
was
about the
with hold
connection.
on. Peter Thiel was with who? With
He was already with the
He
government.
was already with Elon.
He
Peter
already
Thiel.
well, yeah,
Peter
yeah.
hold
Thiel
on.
is the
He from the
Because
PayPal. He from the PayPal mafia
PayPal
back
Wait a
then.
mafia.
right,
minute. Wait,
but
hold
PayPal
on.
mafia. Yeah.
I believe Peter Thiel has some hand in the assassination. I think that it came to the point that they said, okay, well, we'll work with Trump. But I believe Peter Thiel had a hand with this with that first assassination on
He
Trump.
did. He did. And I put that on one of the Tie City posts. They're gonna try to JFK DJT. I said that shit because if he don't act right, man, y'all got it. I agree with you. You right. You cooking. You got it.
Well, I don't
But
know about that conspiracy
let
shit.
me
Y'all
let me
niggas
ask
Well,
this though. But
that's
is Trump
violent,
not
man.
acting
because
right?
hold on, wait,
Y'all
what
niggas,
was it?
y'all
I
come
got
BlackRock?
well, I
straight
just
over
don't
here
know
from the
about.
dark web. Y'all come straight over here from the dark web.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's what
can't.
I'm saying. Like, is Trump not acting right? From what I'm seeing, Trump doing exactly
Yeah,
everything
Trump acting right
according to
now.
plan. He was
Yeah,
doing
he
it
acting
before
right
though.
now.
He
Well,
was
he
doing it
was
before, even with the jab and
no
stuff. He frontlined it.
when well they all against the jab,
No,
the
I'm
right
saying he
against the
for the
jab.
jab.
He for the
Trump,
jab win.
Trump
Y'all brought up
literally.
JFK before I did. Now how am I
Wait,
dark webbing
wait.
when y'all brought up
Trump.
that nigga before I did?
Are we forgetting that Trump literally did warp speed?
At the beginning. Yeah,
Yeah, he
at the
did.
beginning. But don't forget, Trump was also saying, okay, I got this thing, but it's still choice. It's still you can still have a choice to have the jab. So that's how the right looked at it. They wanted the choice to either have the jab or not have the jab. So he
Nah,
wasn't
he
Yeah,
saw
he
but
that it
they
wasn't
was a
on
still laying the
political.
infrastructure for it though.
He saw the political move to go that direction to not to. It was all political, bro. It ain't got shit. If he would have took that jab and he saw that the right was okay with it, that nigga would have went that direction. These niggas move off of
I
polls
don't disagree with you.
and all that shit. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's
We
a
No,
getting hyped.
populist.
I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead.
But my thing with how you explain, I just don't think that it. I think it's several fractions fighting for control of the United States, and to single out Trump as saying that he wants to take everything, he ain't the only one. You got the tech oligarchies, you got the
Mm-hmm.
Democrats, shit, you got the Soros. It's so
Mm-hmm.
many people fighting for
The health
control.
the the health industry hooked up with the tech industry, but check this right. Peter Thiel, why you think they telling all these protesters to cut off their facial identity and to cut off their fingerprint identity on their phones and to cut off and to cut off all the navigation on their phones because they understand that Peter Thiel can tap into that shit and create and triangulate and catch people and monitor people and everything off that shit. That Palantir Technologies, I've been invested in that shit for the past 8 years. I put so much money in Palantir, and I'm sorry, I'm with them people. I believe in this shit. Let's go, cause y'all, cause we got to get control of this country.
Well, think about it like this: when they bombed the towers, we everybody was in for the law to be what was that? What was that law they came up with
The
that
The
the people
Patriot
Patriot
without
Act.
Act,
right? The
Patriot Act.
Patriot Act.
the Patriot
So
Act.
if you jump all in again, what you think they're gonna take away this time?
See,
Yeah.
the Patriot Act had Operation Whirlwinds, where they were able to backdoor the iOS of the iPhones. So therefore, this shit has stepped up tenfold. Where they not only can they now, you remember during the pandemic, they were able to send everybody information on the 19 and the and how many people had it in their area and all that stuff like that. And in Europe, they were finding people if you get what I'm saying. They have
Yeah,
already
but are you
backdoor.
saying that this is are you saying that an invasion of our privacy is a good thing?
At this point, yes. I
What?
know it sounds crazy. I know
I
it
don't
sounds
agree with
crazy.
you, bro. I
I
don't agree
know it
with
sounds crazy, but yes, because because you even said it. We got so many people collaborating with the bullshit. Look, think about it. All these Mexicans in
Yeah.
Texas know. All these
So you
Mexicans in Texas
so
know.
what's that saying? Those who will give up a little of freedom for security
Don't deserve
don't
it.
deserve
I
freedom
don't give a
at
fuck about
all.
that shit. I can hold my
Huh?
own, but what I'm saying is we already know American people are collaborating with them people, and the only way we're going to get any control about that is if we do breach security.
next
Fuck
they're
it.
gonna
It
come
is
for
what
your
it is.
next they're gonna come for your guns, bro. But
But
okay,
you know what?
have
You're
fun.
right. You're right about that. 'Cause they are
You all right
they're
with that? Are
no,
you all right with them coming for your gun?
I'm not okay with them. They coming for the airsoft. They coming for the guns. They coming for
Are
the
you
bow and
all right with
arrows.
it though?
I'm not okay with it. But see, to me, that does not have anything to do with stopping the people that's collect. Okay, so you can stop the people that's collaborating without taking away the guns from good American citizens. I believe that. I do believe that you can. I do believe that you can breach our privacy, stop the bad people without taking all of our rights away. Freedom of travel, because that's what that real ID and shit is about. Freedom of travel,
You
Second
think they
Amendment.
just going you think that they just gonna tap into the people that's protesting phones
Uh huh.
and not the people that's not?
They go tap into everybody shit, bro. Hey,
Eventually they're gonna tap into everybody's shit. We already
hey,
proved that.
and then pastor,
We already proved that.
That's why I say this going. That's why I say this all ties back to that Project 2025 shit because eventually, yeah, they gonna get these. They gonna try to get these illegals out of here. They're gonna get other brown folks out of here, and then guess who they coming after next? Black people. And I know I said this months ago, and I still believe it. I think they still are going to come after black people because they want this to be a neo, what do they call it? A white
Yeah,
nationalist,
This is
Christian
they
Christian
nationalist country.
nationalism. And I
Yes.
tried to explain this shit to Tati to be told me I was crazy.
And
This the new apostolic reformation. I agree with you. That
and
shit is going
uh
to happen.
and
But see, I'm an AME Zionist,
and
so
that's why
I'm
they
a
getting away.
Zionist.
And that's
So
why
I'm a
they
Zionist.
and
So I'm
that's why
not with you
they
niggas anyway.
and that's why
well,
they
Really, I'm a
slowly
Zionist. So I'm
and
not
that's
really
why they
with y'all.
slowly and that's why they slowly taking away a lot of the benefits that black people have in this country that have helped them, come up. Like as far as all the scholarships that we've had, they've been cutting all that stuff, bro. Like all
well,
this and
you,
talking about
well,
DEI and all this shit. They've
but
been cutting all this
we
stuff,
didn't.
bro.
We wasn't the biggest benefit of DEI, and
It
then
don't
you,
matter, bro. I'm just saying
huh?
they going after shit that was helping minorities in general. I get it. It only helped more. It helped more women. Whatever. It was still there for black people. It was still there to help black people, and some black people benefited from it. It don't matter if there's only a few. Some black people did benefit from it. So that's the point. My point for saying it is black people benefited from it. So they getting rid of that shit now. No black people is get benefiting from the shit. That's my point. So
Well. I mean, I don't know. I just. It,
like that excuse don't mean shit,
See
man. Like
the AME
so hold on, wait.
Zion.
Let me ask you this: do you think that black people can outperform white people?
yes,
Yes,
we can if we
yes.
get well. See, that's the thing, bro. This goes back to how these white people have always done shit to roadblocks, put shit, and see, people don't want to hear this shit, but it's the truth. I mean, redlining, all that shit has been put in place to hold black people back. And we've always had to work twice as hard to get into the same positions. And I know some people don't believe that shit, racism over and all this shit or whatever,
So
because
you do
20 years, they Jim Crow and all that shit's been over with. They still redlining. They still was redlining what 10, 20 years ago. I think they had a lawsuit. It was like 20 years ago that was still going on. So it wasn't that long ago. This shit ended. But niggas act like that shit's been over for a very long time. And so we still seeing the effects of that shit. And not
I just
everybody, but we
I
still
I
seeing those
just
effects.
don't I don't I me myself I think I'm against it because those you got certain programs
I'm
that's
losing my voice.
used to to circumvent us like the DEI.
Yeah,
It was supposed to have a black face. They love to put us out front like they gonna give us the world and then they give it to everybody else.
yeah,
I
that's
think
true. I
I
mean, they
think
do
under
that. They use us.
I think under Christian nationalism you can actually achieve that. See, I'm an AME
Huh?
Zion. Yes, I'm an AME Zion, African Methodist Episcopal Zionist. So I am a Christian Zionist, and I always grew up as one. And I talk about that
Oh
shit.
my
I don't give a damn.
God.
I tell y'all, yeah, nigga, oh my God, nigga, it's in your face, nigga.
Hold
Some of
on,
the oldest churches.
wait. So those are the right Jews over there?
No, they're not the right ones. What we're saying is they're not the right ones, but we still back Jerusalem. So therefore, you notice Iran bombed Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv was the old capital of Israel. Donald Trump moved the capital to Jerusalem. As Zionists, we believe in Jerusalem. So I'm telling you, this is a spiritual battle. And y'all want to keep talking about money and
Are you F
tariffs.
are you an FBA or
Yes, nigga.
you European?
No, most niggas, most FBA, if you trace their religious background, is AME or AME Zion.
I gotta go get
Chase,
some
Huh?
man, shit.
check your background of what your family, check your family background in their religion. It's AME or AME Zion. Check it.
Zionist?
Yes, check your black
Okay.
belief, nigga. Check the church your family grew up in. It was AME or AME Zion. Ain't no way around it. We all are Zionists. Believe it or not, black people are Zionists in
Zionist.
this country.
What you talking about, man? I'm Baptist. What you talking about?
Baptists came out of the Methodist Zionists. That's who they came out of. Martin Luther King and them came out of the Methodist Church. That's why they were tied to us. They were tied to the AME Zion because
Oh,
AME
I
Zion
don't
is
know nothing about this shit,
AME.
bro.
If you look up AME Zion, just Google it. They will
I'm
tell you
Southern Baptist.
it's not just religious. AME Zion is not AME Zion is not.
So you believe that slaves should obey their masters?
AME Zion is not just
I didn't
a
ask you that.
religious.
I asked
No,
you,
I
do
don't
you
believe that. No, I
believe
do
that
not
slaves
believe
should?
that. I'm a Zionist. Why would I believe that?
So what do you
AME,
believe then?
that's the reason why we left the Methodist Church because they wouldn't let us take communion with us, and we raised war against them and created our own, the AME Zion, which is a religious political movement. That is we started the blur of the line between church and state because black people we literally as we believed that's how we ran our political advantages. It's how we believe. So AME Zion is not just a religion; it's a political push as well. And so, therefore,
I think that's
Zionism.
different, bro. You talking
No,
about
it's not. It's
Zion?
not different. No, it's
You
not
talking about
different.
Zion?
I ain't familiar.
Y'all don't know the
I'm familiar
doctrine.
with Zionism. I'm
You
not.
know if you're okay with it, where is Zion? Where is Zion?
That's in the movie Matrix.
No,
Yeah,
it's not
that's
the
what I
movie
was gonna
Matrix.
say.
No, it's not. No, no,
I'm
no.
just
Where
messing
is
with you, bro.
Zion?
I
Where
got
is
you.
Zion?
I
Zion is
don't know.
Jerusalem, nigga. That's what it is. Zion is
Yeah,
Jerusalem. Y'all don't even know this shit.
I don't.
Zion is Jerusalem.
I don't know what I'm talking about here, man. I don't remember
I
all
know
that
you
stuff.
don't know. I'm trying to tell you.
I
Zion
went
is
to
Jerusalem.
yo, I went to Sunday school, bro. My mama took me to Sunday school every Sunday, bro. It's Sunday morning, bro. So but I just don't remember all that stuff, bro. That was like 30 years ago.
I still go to some of the oldest black churches, man. Zion is
Hold on,
Jerusalem, and
wait.
yeah,
So you want Israel to defeat Iran?
yes, yes, I do. At the end of the day, yeah, because
You
we had
So you
Uh-huh.
are willing to die for Israel?
No, not for Israel, but we have to protect Jerusalem. See, y'all get caught up on Israel. We stuck on Jerusalem. We care more, but that's just why we wanted to. That's just why we wanted.
Hold
That's
on,
just
wait.
why that's just hold on. That's just why the Christian nationalists wanted Donald Trump to move the capital of Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
Well,
That's what Christian. That's
you
what we
know why
wanted.
they probably want to Iran probably want to attack Jerusalem because it's the capital of Palestine to them.
So everybody is fighting over Jerusalem.
I'm
Not
not.
Israel, not Tel Aviv, none of that shit. This is a big spiritual warfare over Jerusalam, and
So why does
they're
your
willing to use
your
Palantir.
religion call for people who don't believe to die for y'all?
Nigga, I don't know, nigga. I didn't ask you that. You gonna get caught in the middle of it regardless. I didn't ask you to join
So
in or
we have
not.
to get caught in the middle of crazies.
It ain't crazy. It is. You call it crazy if it's
Is
so.
your belief? Is your belief?
Is it happening? Is it happening?
That's because you
Then
all
stop
are
calling it
trying.
crazy. Then stop calling it crazy. It's
Look,
happening.
How we get
there
this
are
far
people. Hold
over
on,
to this,
wait.
bro?
They've already said that this is what they planned on doing. That they were going to try. They were going to artificially bring about these things that they wrote down in y'all Bible.
Right. I agree. I agree with Mercy on that. Like it's a difference between prophecy and having a couple thousand years to set stuff in place. Like you can if you already got the okay, this supposed to happen on Armageddon. What's stopping them from like just putting the chess pieces together versus actual like prophecy? Because these people believing that it's God working through them doing this.
Yeah.
They don't believe it's God just like doing miracles like in the Old Testament and Jesus and shit. They believing that God using them as his vessels to do this in terms we understand and shooting missiles and shit.
And I mean that's their God. But I mean, their God was destroying. I mean, whole peoples and everything like that. It's a violent God, and they
Yeah,
violent people. Christians are violent people.
yeah,
Zionists are violent people.
I disagree with Pastor. I don't know where he from, but I'm from North Carolina and North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland area. That's where my
I'm
people
from
from.
North Carolina. I'm from Eastern North Carolina, Kinston, North Carolina, to be matter of fact.
Oh, for
252.
real? Okay, that's right
252.
there. That's right there in the area where I'm from. So
So
facts. But
you can't
no,
tell me
no,
Zionism, but you can't tell me
nah,
Zionism.
because no, I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you right now. Where my people came from is the Kahuki Baptist Association. That what you talking about didn't come about to like the 1820s, 30s. Where my
No,
people come from.
the first AME was started in Philadelphia. That's AME. They dropped the Zionism. Then you had AME Zion, which was founded in New York.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's where, and I mean we could get into an argument of why that started in New York, but I would say it's the same reason the Hebrew Israelites and stuff started in New York. But my point is that like I was saying, my people come from. I've already done the history. It come directly from Indians being uh brought into the fold through the Kahuki Baptist Association, which was a part of the Tar River Association. So from both of us being from 252, I'm pretty sure you know that they got all that history in the books. Like they got all the pastors, they got all the leaders, pictures of them and everything. So I don't know nothing about the AME stuff though from North Carolina. I ain't never heard of no AME stuff in North Carolina.
Hey, hold up. I just joined. Did Mercy already take his victory lap? Did
Yeah,
Mercy take it?
and I'm
Oh, okay.
still
Oh,
taking
all
it. I'm
right.
still taking
All
it.
right, bet. Because that's the first thing that I wanted to come up here and say is give you your props. Because every time we was on this topic, you bring up the Suez Canal, you bring up is the shit still? You know what I'm saying? You've been on point this entire time. So I just want to go ahead and give you your
Well, I
flowers for that.
appreciate that. I
You feel me?
appreciate that.
Because when this shit popped off, bro, like the main people who I wanted to hear from was General Dave, you, and Shot coming up here on and kicking the history, because this whole shit we've been running down from the whole shit in time. I caught a little bit of the replay. You ran down basically from start to finish how this shit popped off with the Houthis, and then Trump got the deal. Motherfucker was negotiating with Iran. Iran countered with the with Israel's nuclear program, which they wasn't supposed to know about. Western media didn't even talk about this shit. But the one thing that I want to bring up, like, fuck all the religious shit. That's just a pretense. That's how they're selling it to the people. That's how they're selling it to the sheep. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do legitimately believe in that stuff. You know, I'm religious, but I'm not a fucking I'm not so far gone that I'm gonna get caught up in this fucking apocalyptic prophecy shit just to give my life for the fucking military industrial complex, because at the end of the day, like, that's really what the fuck is going on. Lockheed Martin fucking stock is booming. Raytheon stock is booming. Palantir stock is booming. Like, that's what this shit is really about. Like, and the fact that fucking all this religious prophecy shit, we're sitting here talking about the difference between AME Zion. I grew up AME. You know what I'm talking about? But like this whole shit breaking off, that's just a whole big ass distraction, bro. Like this shit with this move that Israel pulled off on Iran, this is shit been coming since October 7th. This was the main thing. Like they said it from the very beginning. They're gonna use this as to get their foot in the door to reshape the whole Middle East region, and the whole economical aspect of it with the new with the new Silk Road, the Greater Israel Project. This is geopolitics, geoeconomics on like the huge biggest level. They're dividing the whole Middle East. They laid out like 12 different countries fucking 20 years ago from the very beginning. All the countries that they were going to take out. This is the last fucking domino. And so the fact that Donald Trump is the main motherfucker to pull it off, because I've been saying this shit. The dude is a rhino. He was the military industrial complex main dude. He was the one who could sell this shit to white America. He could flip the shit, make it look like plausible deniability, as if he's like an isolationist, pro peace. I still hear white people talking about peace in the Middle East. Fucking Tim Pool, goddamn, like all these idiots, all these morons that can't see what the fuck is happening right in front of them. He's literally the main. He's like he was the only one who could really thread the needle and sell it to white America. And you got these white Christians, these white Christian Zionists, and you know, to bring it back to the religious aspect,
evangelicals
like,
too. Evangelicals,
bro. These people, we got to stop these people, bro.
Don't stop us. You can't stop us. You
Man.
cannot stop us. You can't stop us.
These
You can't
motherfuckers,
stop us.
they
You
believe
cannot
this
stop
shit.
us. You can look the church. They've been arguing about taxing the church for a long time. You know how much money the church has bought in to fund this shit? We are way ahead of y'all financially. Y'all can't stop this
Bruh.
shit.
I was on the last live stream. I was looking up all the different sister cities that we got in the country, bro. There's damn near like 100 of these motherfuckers just peppered all across the country, bro. All that money going straight to Zion, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. So yeah, man. Like this is a big one. You know what I'm saying? This is the main shit that.
So you might as well get with it, because you can't beat it. You might as well get with it. You
Yeah,
can't beat
that's
it, dog.
that's what I'm
You
about to
can't
say,
beat it.
Django. You keep bringing up the military industrial complex. Nah, bro, this is about being a good servant of the Lord, bro. Like, you need to go ahead
Right.
and drop that. You need to
It's
close
like the
your eyes
goddamn the
and
pretense then took over. It's like they took it
gird up
and
your
ran with it, bro.
loins,
Like
gird
it's
up your
crazy.
loins, and get ready to die for the Lord, man.
Right. And
Who else you living for?
Well, it's about money. I believe it's about money at the top, but you got all these religious zealots that's
yep.
filling it. I mean, that's keeping it going. While the top is just about the money.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
disagree with
Hold
you. I
on,
disagree with you.
real
Okay.
quick. Shout out to KJ. Actually, let me start back up here. Hold on. KJ said, Pastor, why don't you take your ass over there and help him? He said the Israeli Defense Force, they take American volunteers. So you down to go fight for God's chosen people or what?
Honestly, I would do it.
What?
But from America.
All right. So Sinku says that Iran is a puppet state of Israel, controlled by the East India Trading Company. This conflict is political theater. Appreciate that. Shout to Infinite Observer, man, for the 20 on it, man. And KJ again, man, said them people said on record that they want Iran to have the same deal as Libya. Who would take that bullshit ass deal? I agree. And shout out to Iran because Iran was just standing on business. Like they was just like, no, this is what it is. Take it or leave it. They didn't escalate the talks. The talks didn't even go up the chain of command. That's what Trump is leaving out. Where he talking about, oh man, they didn't want to do no deal. It's going to get worse. It's like, no, you know that you was going to have to come out and say Iran is offering a fair deal. All right, that all we have to do is treat their nuclear program the same as Israel's nuclear program, and all of this would have been settled. But Israel don't want you looking. Israel said it's none of your fucking business. Just keep giving us $4.5 billion a year. All right? Know your fucking role, Trump and America. Stop trying to fucking tell us what to do with our nuclear program that you fucking fund anyways.
True. And that was what you remember Obama kept trying to go into Iran's nuclear program and see what they had and all that other stuff. And that was American.
No. That was and you know what? That was I know y'all motherfuckers don't like it, but Obama had it to where they agreed that we could oversee their nuclear program.
Trump, at the end of the day, was trying to redo the same deal that Obama did, bro. Like what Obama accomplished, it took like 2 years or whatever. It's like half his fucking administration was dedicated to securing that deal, and Trump is trying to reproduce the shit in like 6 months.
The red line was they couldn't enrich. That's where Trump was changing it. They couldn't enrich. They couldn't even enrich for hospital needs or anything like that.
Yep.
And every country is allowed to enrich for that.
And see, Obama had it where they could make building blocks. You're right. To me, Obama had it very fair. He had it. I ain't gonna lie. Obama did have it very fair.
The deal was fair. The deal was fair because Iran don't want nuclear weapons.
Well, we don't trust them, but see, and that's the problem. That's
don't trust
them.
Exactly.
And that was the issue with Obama's plan. Obama's plan gave them. It was extremely fair, but it did give them building blocks. It gave them building blocks, and we didn't trust the building blocks.
First of all, who gives the United States rights to tell another country, another sovereign country, what they can and cannot do?
The World Banks.
All the money we give out to people.
We don't give it to Iran. We don't have the right to tell another sovereign country. And nobody else is telling these other sovereign countries.
Yes, we do, man. Y'all get up here and like America ain't got no pool, man. I gotta whip out the Star Spangled Banner on you niggas, man.
Oh, here we go with the paper tiger.
Got the Negro imperialist over here.
Hey, man, here's what it is. Man. Look, man. Hey, do what we say. All right, do what we say. All right,
and then
But I was gonna say, even that deal with Obama with them inspecting their plants, that's been shown to be a double cross towards Iran too, because when Israel just did this strike, they had put out all that media showing they got like detailed 3D layouts of the inside of the facilities and stuff. And
Iran?
They said that information came from the inspectors, gave that information to Israel.
Yep.
You see,
that was the whole that was what made it so brilliant. Was Obama was able, like I said, Obama was able to get the shit to where he was able to get the international community, also known as the CIA, MI6, fucking Mossad, because that's all, you know what I'm saying, these quote unquote third party inspectors are. You know what I'm saying? It's just intelligence. So we were actually more hands-on and able to see what they really had and feed that to whoever needed to have it for intelligence purposes. And Trump just like he just tossed it away. I guess, it might have been a lot, like looking at in hindsight, it could have just been a fucking long game. You know what I'm saying? They might have had to just planned it out to where the Obama administration would get the inspectors in, they'd map out their whole shit. A couple administrations later, literally the next administration, you know what I'm saying? They torpedo that deal and they set the stage to have Israel target all of the facilities. You know what I'm saying?
Because that was the plan. Hold on. That was the plan from the beginning. Because you know what? One thing, because they always question Obama's religion, but that he never double crossed the evangelical or the AME Zion. You remember he was going to church at who was
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
pastor? What's that pastor name? Jeremiah Wright.
I
Do you remember Jeremiah Wright?
Goddamn America.
Obama didn't go with it. Obama
yes,
gave
he did
Iran.
go with it. Yes, he did go with
Obama
it.
gave Iran the deal. From my understanding, Netanyahu and Obama didn't like each other, and he was basically the N word to him, and that's one of the reasons why he got that deal. They got
That's
the deal
not
done because
true.
Israel did not want a deal at all. If they could have got Obama to invade Iran, they would have did it. They got him to do it in Libya. Everybody else was taking people off the thing.
Because they negotiated a good deal. And let me tell you something. I believe Obama was the real art of the deal. I'm not going to lie to you. He was able to keep the evangelicals, the Episcopalians, and the Zionists happy without double crossing Israel.
Well, also,
and giving Iran a fair deal. Nigga,
that's true, and it's
I
on
could agree.
timing, and it's on timing too. Is what I'm saying, because like it's like a multi presidential play. Like the presidents come in, and really the main overall foreign policy really doesn't change. It's just different pieces at different times. Like at the time when Obama was structuring that deal, Libya hadn't fallen yet, Syria hadn't fallen yet. You know what I'm saying? And those were that's just two countries off the top of my head I can remember. Like Yemen hadn't been neutralized yet. Like there was a whole layout of countries that still needed to be taken out first. You know what I'm saying? Like we were still involved in Afghanistan. We still had, you know what I'm saying? We still hadn't closed the book on Iraq at the time. You know what I'm saying? We still had to take over all the other pieces before going after the main deal, which was Iran, because Iran, that's the somebody said it before, that's the axis of evil, the axis of resistance, the Shia crescent, all of that shit, like it was in the play. It was already written, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember like 15 years ago at least, when that general was in the that congressional hearing telling them, like, these are the countries, this is the play. And even now we have Pete Hegseth. This is the real shit. Pete Hegseth, when he was giving his speech to the Europeans, he was giving them he was giving them the game up front at that time. He was saying, we're gonna give y'all Ukraine, Russia. Y'all got to take care of that because it's a division of labor. We need to shift our focus towards China and in Taiwan. You know what I'm saying? That whole region now, because America, even though it's a global empire, like it can't take on the main adversaries without setting the stage first. And once the stage is set to go out to the main ally, we have to delegate the rest of our enemies to our allies to handle. So Israel is, you know what I'm saying, is our ally, quote unquote, who we got like acting as a loose dog to take on Iran, so we can shift our focus towards China, and we're delegating Russia to the EU. They're gonna, you know what I'm saying, they're increasing their military spending. So I think like it's all written, it's all like the game is already set. You know what I'm talking about? But
so you said, hold on, wait. So you said you said Israel is proxy for Israel. I mean for Iran. My bad.
Yeah, because like we can't, not like it's. I'm of like I'm kind of conflicted about how much we can really trust Israel in that sense, because Israel has their, like exactly.
Israel is a proxy that don't want to be a proxy.
Exactly, they're too. You know what I'm saying? They got too much.
I can't go that way. I can't go that way.
Hold on. Israel, this is what I'm saying. Israel's a proxy that don't want to be a proxy. They wants to lead the United States. They want to be the shit. They're a proxy that wants to be the shit.
But
Do you agree with
they
that?
already are though. How are they the? But how? Let me ask this: how are they the proxy that we're using? Which I agree to that to an extent, but that's like so far beyond like.
I'm gonna tell you how.
You know how many
Because we still got
Israelis
to get
are
them
like
weapons and
in the
shit.
government and stuff? Like,
No, I'm gonna tell you how,
Yeah.
because of the Bill 4 Act. America. Look, so America. Do you remember how we were saying how America has had the privilege of coming into wars later on? We're
It
during
ain't the
During
America,
World
it's the
War.
United States.
Okay, so the United States. Okay, the United States was able to come into World War II. And later on with the Balfour Act, and that is how you literally got the pretty much Israel. The Balfour Act in America who came in and closed that deal. So therefore, we are so even so forget the religion. I know y'all don't believe in the religion shit. I get y'all niggas, y'all atheists, agnostic niggas. However, even if you look at the war and political shit, they're closely tied, because you wouldn't have a state of Israel without the Balfour Act. But with the Balfour Act, which is America helped close that deal through the military-industrial complex. That's how you
but
even got the damn. That's even how you got Israel. Is
who
because
is
of
running the
America.
military? Who is running the military industrial complex? My question is why is it people in America complaining that it's too many Jews in political positions, but it ain't nobody in Israel complaining that it's too many Americans in positions in Israel?
Because they ain't going to have that.
Because they
No, no, no,
Jews
no, no,
first.
no.
They all
Americans,
saying they Jews first over anything. Ben
Americans are
Shapiro will tell you
definitely.
that.
Let's stop this. Let's get this. Let's stop this, yo. Americans are definitely they may not be head of state, but Americans are definitely in prominent positions over there in Israel. That is out of line for you to think that we're
Where?
not.
Who?
Because
They are Zionists.
okay,
They are
but
Zionists.
most Americans
And
fall
they are
under
not
no
Americans. They are United States citizens.
most Americans fall under evangelical, Episcopal, or Zionism. Most Americans fall under that doctrine.
Yeah, man.
Most
Like,
Americans do.
what's the difference? What's the like? Really, can somebody like actually break down like what is the difference between Israel and America? Really?
There is no big difference. We are tied. We are tied hand in hand. With that, Israel is the left hand. America is the right hand. There's no
Zionist is not a religion. It's a
It's political
it's a
ideology.
political identity.
Yeah.
Zionism is a political identity. That's just why I told you we are AME. That's just why the Methodist comes before the Zionists. That's just why it's a religious political party. African Methodist Episcopal Zionists.
Well,
We are Methodist Episcopals with Zionism as our political push. Yes, you're
I'm
right.
not
I'm
trying
not.
to be
Yeah,
offensive, but you Zionists need to be destroyed.
nigga, but you can't destroy us, nigga. You
There you
cannot
go,
destroy
mercy.
us because just like I was on top, just like I was on Ramil channel talking shit, how I put my son against any other nigga son, nigga, you